Hello, beautiful ones, beautiful alien star babies, whatever you are, whoever you are, thanks for tuning in to my very first general tarot reading that is recorded. This reading is for whoever is drawn to it. This reading is, again, a general reading for the collective. I'm gearing this towards the new moon in Leo, so any messages from spirit that would like to come through that can help you, work with you, give you some guidance, and maybe shine a light on some things that maybe you could see from a different perspective, or even just affirm the things you already know, But yeah, thank you for tuning in, and bear with me because I haven't filmed videos since I was like 13 years old on YouTube, making like little makeup tutorials. So, working through that energy is fun, but I am not 13 years old. I am 23, and a lot has happened since then, and my relationship with myself has grown so much. I would hope so, since it's been, over 10 years. But anyway, let's dive into this reading. So what's crossing the collective energy right now, coming up for this new moon in Leo, is strength, which is no surprise that this came out. I was already thinking about it. Sometimes I think I don't think I'm actually the only one who experiences this, but you can just see a card in your head and you know when it's just gonna fly out. I'm pretty sure Leo rules this card astrologically, but I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it does. So what's crossing us right now collectively is strength and the Four of Swords. So being able to basically rest and prepare, like rest and tap into our own inner strength, because to rest within itself, when we're always fighting and we're always having to be on guard and be ready for the next battle, or which could quite literally be just you leaving your house to go to the store, or you leaving your house to go to work, and it feeling like you stepping out into an actual war zone, whether that's all in your head or literally quite, or like real, like you are stepping into an unsafe environment, so you always are on guard. This time right now, you're being asked from spirit, not even asked, I feel like you're being told that you're allowed to rest. You're allowed to take this time that you have to be alone with yourself, if you have that time. If you are blessed with the time and the space to be alone with yourself and be alone with your thoughts and to actually get some rest, that is so beautiful. Don't take advantage of this time that you have right now to do that. But also, to the people that have not been able to have that time to rest, the people that have been out there fighting, been out there not just fighting, but fighting the good fucking fight, like out there doing the work that really needs to be done collectively, doing the work that is so important for us as a collective, for us as a nation, for us as just humanity in general to be doing, like standing up for what is right and having the strength to do that. Like the Four of Swords actually came out before strength, so I want to focus on this for a second. But the Four of Swords to me in this situation is really just, I just keep hearing like preparedness, but also like knowing that the best way for you to show up is to make sure you're taking care of yourself and to rest when you can in every single way. I know that a lot of people are wired to not be even able to rest. They're always working, their minds are always running to the next thing. But Spirit is very much like, hey, you're allowed to rest, and not only are you allowed to rest, you are, for you to show up and fight the good fight, or not even fight, for you to just show up in the world as your most authentic self, you need to rest. You need good sleep. You need to drink water. You need to take care of yourself and put food into your body that isn't fucking poison, you know? Like, to surround yourself with something that is beautiful. Like, you need to take care of yourself during this time. You need, especially like the times we're in right now, like with this pandemic, you need to make sure that you are getting the rest and you have the things you need to really just make sure you're taken care of, and also checking in with the people around you that they're taken care of. Another message I'm getting is with Strength and the Four of Swords is that there's a lot of things going on in the dream realm or the astral plane, if you will. So much so that it almost feels like you're never even able to rest because things are always turning in your head. Your dreams are like, when I look at this card, I'm literally seeing a dream and then being in this realm of infinite possibility and like being surrounded by like animal friends and allies and spirits, and like this lion holding this like fireball, this like life force energy. It's almost like I'm sensing like a lot of you have been doing dream work, or dream work has been doing you, essentially. We can't, some people can control what they dream and lucid dream and astral project, but for those of us who haven't learned, don't know what that is, or are just stepping into that, we kind of just step into Pandora's box whenever we go to sleep. Or if you don't dream anything at all, that's okay too. Maybe through this Lionsgate portal that we just stepped into, I think that was on August 8th, that activated your dreams, and you're able to like actually see things for the first time in a long time, like actually experience things through your dreams that maybe just haven't come up for you, haven't been relevant for you in a long time, and they haven't needed to work with you, or they haven't ever worked with you, but something's opened that up for you. That's for someone specific. Moving into what needs to be released. The Hierophant and the Nine of Swords. What needs to be released is the need for external validation, the need for not trusting yourself, feeling like you have to look outside of yourself for a connection to spirit, feeling like you need to almost submit to a belief system, or really anything. Like, I kind of laughed when I pulled the Hierophant and also the Hermit while both of these cards are out, because I feel like there's some people watching this that have stepped out of a evangelical belief system, or they're still in it, have some ties to a belief system, whether that's evangelical or not. It's a belief system in which you have to surrender yourself to something outside of you. So with the Hierophant and the Nine of Swords, like, I'm getting a very clear picture of like this tie you have to like not really being able to listen to yourself, and always being pinned down by anxiety, guilt, and shame surrounding like just being who you are. That shit's like going, like, and it's also the 9. It's like you're at the end of a cycle. I feel like that kind of connects to the dead end as well, where it's like, this is a closed door for you now. You not listening to your body and what you need is a chapter that is finally coming to a close. You being able to go within, like stepping into the energy of the Hermit, you being able to shine a light on your own inner world and bring out what you find, reflect on what you find, even like going within and seeing how you've been conditioned, how you've been raised to believe a certain way, whether that is through like your spiritual beliefs or the beliefs about your body, or like the way you should act in the world, or the way you should show up. Like, I can also see this like not just being about maybe like leaving your belief system. I feel like this is just leaving the idea that you have to serve something outside of you to feel a sense of aliveness or purpose in this world. Like fucking capitalism. Like, you literally, I just hear that, like, you working for the man, or you working for something, like, and always it's like this scared soldier, like, I don't know what I'm fighting for. But if they looked at themselves, they're a fucking beautiful, angelic being that they don't even need a fucking sword in their hand. Like, they don't even, like, they're just, if they put the sword down and stopped looking at these crows that are coming in through this portal, they would realize that they have wings to fly the fuck away. Like, they don't, skip on, like, bye. Does that make sense? Anyway, so yeah, stepping into also this energy that is, calling and wants to be heard. You have the Hermit and the Seven of Swords. So the Seven of Swords is interesting that we got in the pile that is like helpful, or energy that is helping to, work through this anxiety and all that jazz. The Seven of Swords is like trickery and kind of like deception, and it's almost like false light. Like, you see this person like luring this beautiful, I want to say this is a swan, to this rock, and the swan is like looking up at the sword, at this divine like light behind it, and it's like, this is where I'm meant to be. And then this thing is down here that's like, no bitch, you're about to not be. I feel like this kind of just ties into like the things lurking in the shadows that are coming to the light, the things lurking in the shadows that are literally coming out collectively, that people are waking up to, that there's being like the clean up your space. I feel like this also has to do with literally just energetic space, like that is happening across the board for people. Like they're starting to look within, and once you start to look within, you can look without, and it starts to reflect back to you what the fuck is going on. I think that's the micro and the macrocosm, I believe. But this is really cool. Like, also kind of tying back into, I feel like this message is for someone specific with the dream thing. The Nine of Swords and the Hierophant. The Nine of Swords, I feel like, can also tie into nightmares or like dark entities, lower vibrational beings, like coming to you in your dreams, making it so that you aren't ever able to rest. You're always having to be on guard even in your sleep. This energy is being fucking released because you are absolutely at your core deserving of being able to rest and not have to be on guard even in your most vulnerable state, which is when you're sleeping. It's you being able to, look within with the Hermit and say, like, why am I experiencing such turmoil in my dream state? Why am I going on journey after journey after journey that's leading me here? It's leading me to this dead end every time. And within this dead end, I'm all encompassed in fucking thorns. And I don't know how to get out other than wake up. And then I relive this like nightmare scenario all the time. So I feel like if you are someone who, or if you're the one who experiences not being able to rest, always being on guard, while you're awake and also while you're asleep, you're stepping into a place where you're going to be able to tap into your inner strength, not only physically here, but also in the dream world, if that makes sense. Like, you are very strong. Your astral self is very strong, and through the battles and through the anxiety that you've experienced, specifically in your dreams, you have become a like seasoned warrior. Like you know what's up, and these things that you may feel like control you in every waking hour of your life are very soon coming to a fucking end. And that's also the dead end card. It's like a closed door. It's a fucking stop sign. It's saying like, hey, you see all of this turmoil? I'm gonna stop you right there. This is not meant for you. It maybe brought you to some awarenesses. It maybe brought you to some shadow parts of yourself that you needed to see in order to grow. But we're gonna stop you right there because it's time to balance this shit out, because you deserve to be able to have a space in which you are able to rest. You're able to embody the Queen of Wands. You're able to, this is actually the card I pulled as like the significator for the collective, or for you. The Queen of Wands is one of my favorite cards. She is the queen of creation, the queen of creativity. She is like the channel and conduit for all things creative, all things coming from passion. And I feel like this card is so prevalent even in a lot of the readings I've done recently. She's popped out, or they've popped out, and a lot of the people I've read for are like highly creative, and I feel like that's not something for just one individual, that's for us as a collective, and that's something that people are waking up to as well. Like during this time of rest and staying at home and doing things that we wouldn't normally have time for, people are really starting to tap into their creativity. Like their wheels are starting to turn. They're realizing like, hey, I don't have to look to someone else to tell me how to be creative and tell me what I need to be doing with my life. I get to decide that for myself, and I get to follow my own passions and my own belief system. I get to create from a place of authenticity and truth, that comes from my own temple, that comes from my own energy field, not anyone else's, but mine. Going into it's the Hierophant, the temple, and the village, and the dead end all kind of tie into each other. The dead end and the village specifically. What I read about the village, it's also kind of like a letting go. It's moving on. It's going on to the next point in your journey, and that's very prevalent with this whole spread. There's a lot of movement, while also like within all of the movement happening, there's a lot of rest to be had, if you will. There's a lot of signifiers, I think it's significators, pointing towards you creating your own system, you creating your own temple, you creating your own altar. You literally have make an altar as one of your self-care cards. You have clear your energy field. Ooh, let me get it. Clear your energy field as one of your self-care cards that came through. And that's a cool card. Obviously, you can use, I think these kind of tie into each other. You have chanting and clear your energy field. You can clear your energy field by doing chanting and opening up your throat chakra, singing, using singing bowls, different music or frequencies. You don't necessarily have to use smoke clearing, but if that's what you'd like to do, then that's what you can do. Just make sure that you research and respect whatever plant that you are using during a smoke cleansing ritual. Always pay respect to the plant, and also the, where does that plant come from, who uses it. Be very respectful towards indigenous cultures that have harvested and taken care of these plants for so long. Make sure that you are very careful and respectful of your own practices that you're creating. That's for someone specific. If you are someone that uses like sage and palo santo and cedar and pine, and there's, I believe, also juniper, copal. There's a list of things that I can post, or I can maybe post in my stories as well, like that we should kind of start to rethink using, that have been really whitewashed and almost taken for granted and taken out of a sacred practice, if that makes sense. But again, do your own research and, you know, respect the fucking earth and respect different cultures. And, you know, there's room for everyone. There's room for everyone to express themselves in a spiritual way, and absolutely everyone is allowed to clear their energy field. It's really just about finding what fits for you and clearing your energy field in a way that is respecting not only you, but the people that came before you, the people that will come after you. Didn't mean to go on a little tangent with that, but there you go. Ooh, let me put those back. Also tapping into these other cards, the Inner Goddess card, Leap of Faith, and Prosperity. What other god? I feel like I pulled another goddess card. Oh, Guiding Children. You are good at helping, counseling, and healing children. Use your skills to help children now. That could be for someone specific that works with children. This could also be tying into you guiding with the Hermit, you literally guiding your inner child to not even guiding your inner child. I'm kind of just seeing you like going alongside your inner child with a lantern and being like, yo, what's going on here? That could also tie into like the belief system thing, where it's like, what did you learn as a child that still affects you today? What did you learn as a child that fundamentally has impacted you and is a part of your personality and has attached itself to your ego and the foundation in which you express yourself? This Hermit energy is like, yo, we're going on a journey, baby. And you are totally like, I see this beautiful, I kind of see this as like you now, and then like your inner child. And the inner child is like, child is like, where the fuck are you taking me? And they're like, just you wait. It's gonna get really dark, but I've got wings and I can fly out of this situation. I can become present. I'm not gonna let whatever happened to me as a child affect me to such a degree that I relive this same thing twice. But I can revisit, I can reflect, I can work through, and I can highlight the things that need to be highlighted so that I'm able to grow from them. If that makes sense. Sorry, I keep saying if that makes sense. It's very interesting talking. I've never done an actual tarot reading where I'm talking out loud by myself the whole time. My favorite part of doing readings for other people is being able to connect and have a conversation throughout. So this is a big learning experience for me. I'm very thankful to whomever has stuck around this long. I know we're going on like 30 minutes, but yeah, I don't know if I've already said this, but if you have any feedback for me, I would love some. I would greatly appreciate any feedback, anything you resonated with. Feel free to leave me a comment or send me a DM. That would really encourage me in continuing to do this work and grow with this type of intuitive process and reading for other people collectively. I think the last thing that I want to touch on, where was it? We have prosperity and abundance. Ooh, almost burnt myself. We have prosperity. The universe is pouring its abundance out to you. Be open to receiving. And the leap of faith. Take a risk and put your heart's true desire into action. Inner goddess, Aphrodite. Beautiful. Awaken the goddess within you through dance, self-care, and appreciating your divinity. I really feel like the inner goddess card also ties into the belief system thing. Being able to fully embrace yourself as a divine being of love, and like tapping into the Sophia energy, the equivalent, the divine feminine, the divine receptivity energy. I believe that the feminine is really the receiver or the giver, and the masculine is the projector or the giver. Because I don't necessarily have to gender archetypes or spirits, but the energy is to give and to receive, and also how they flow together. We all have both of those things and all of these things running through us at all times. So the inner goddess says, fuck the Hierophant. Honestly, the Hierophant, I have a love-hate relationship with this card because it's depending on the reading I'm doing it in, you know. The Hierophant to me in this reading just represents like this person who thinks they know it all, this person who thinks that their way is the right way for you to live. And I'm saying a big fuck you to that energy, because you're allowed to live in the way that you were meant to live, and you were not meant to live chained to a belief system that is only serving someone else and not helping you and serving the things you need in any way, shape, or form, and keeping you in a box. So the inner goddess comes in and she's like, you can appreciate your fucking divine temple, which is your body. Step into it and say, I am holy. I am loved. My body is sacred. My mind is sacred. My spirit is sacred. I am in alignment with my highest and greatest good and the potential that flows through me at all times. Like, this is a direct line to spirit. You completely, like, this with the Queen of Wands to end this reading is such a beautiful, like, sign off to me. Like, yes, you need to, what's crossing you right now, you need to rest, but right now you get to step into and look forward to, like, bringing what you so desire out into the world, stepping into a creative flow, whatever that is for you. Really to even just start that, to get into a creative flow, like you can start out by chanting, opening up your throat chakra. Not only are you opening up your throat chakra when you chant, you are it's almost like a call to spirit, and it's like, I would almost compare it to like a wolf howling. It's like just coming into being a human and making this like primal sound. And you could even chant some mantras or affirmations, or say like one thing, an example. I am allowed to create. I think for myself. I am beautiful. I am strong. I am worthy of rest. Ooh, the candle's even chanting. Do you hear? Yeah. But also you can come up with your own little mantras. But yeah, thank you so much for listening and joining me for this beautiful reading. Whatever you're stepping into, I wish you the purest of strength, and I wish you so much beautiful rest, that you're able to take care of yourself so that you can show up as your best self to help the people that need it the most right now and always. So yeah, I don't really know of a good sign off yet, since this is my first video, but I hope that you have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Good night.